Hello everybody, my name is RagingRaptor and I welcome you to a new news from the Supertest. Today we have some news about the 9.15 patch, which at the moment doesn't have given us any information. But we have now some premium tanks which will be rebalanced. These are now some of them. In total there will be 10 premium tanks which will be rebalanced in a mean of buff because they're more or less older ones or more or less newer ones which just are not as good. Those information about 10 tanks which are getting buffed came from the question and answers video of the North American channel with Victor. And I have to say, holy balls! Victor can speak really good English for being mainly Russian obviously. But this shouldn't be a problem, this shouldn't be an insult or anything. I'm really surprised and happy to see that and really hope he's coming once to Switzerland so I can have a talk with him. But yeah, the tanks which will be really balanced dash buffed in 9.15 are all premium tanks and what can we probably expect? I personally obviously hope that some tanks will get back this special matchmaking like the newer premium tanks which are underperforming in tier 10 battles. Why do I hope this? Because I think it is still something. Premium tanks have something. And it should not be just earning some credit, it should also be this preferential matchmaking. IS-6, FCM50T, like come on, the FCM50T has the same gun as the AMX CDC, but the AMX CDC sees tier 10 games, where the FCM50T is not as fast, but has much more armor to rely on. So yeah. Personally, I would really like to see this special matchmaking coming back to some of those tanks. But now let's go to the first one. The Panzerkampfwagen 5-4 Alpha, a tank which I unfortunately will never get, but I think is amazingly cool. If I could ever get my hands on that one, like buying one, I would probably immediately buy one. I really love this tank, how it looks, how it feels, why it was like this, and yeah, the history behind it. I don't know what they're going to buff with that tank. Probably this the match even eventually, as I said, the matchmaking spree and penetration mostly. This tank has 128mm penetration or 110, really poorly on tier 6. The next one, STA2, my hate tank on tier 8. It's so incredible, awful to play. 185mm penetration, 6 seconds reload time, the CDC has 6.1 with a good crew. I have roughly the same good amount of crews in the STA2 and the CDC. Awful gun handling, no armor, no camouflage, no speed, no nothing, just awful. I dislike the STA2. What can I do? Give it special matchmaking. You don't need to change much. Just give it special matchmaking. Otherwise, it's so bad. Oh, tier 10 games, you can't do anything. Probably buff to the penetration, probably a buff to soft set, so it accelerates faster, keeps its movement. So yeah. 112, a tank which is a little bit longer longer for sale than a WZ 111, but is underperforming quite much. Even Wargaming itself said in a review about the 112 and the IS-6, it is underperforming. That the IS-6 has better all-round armor. Well, the 112 is really decent when it comes to hold down. The turret is fairly strong, sure has some weak spots, but the upper front plate, 112mm, is really strong. On the other hand, it burns like a bonfire, like the British commander or gunner would say when you lit somebody up. The fuel tanks are in the front, side armor not there. Gun stats, well, it has special matchmaking, still fairly weak. The next tank, one which I don't have, which I would still like to get, is the T95E2. Everyone can get it fairly easily. When you have a when you have a friend which actually is good in World of Tanks, it makes it a lot easier to get this tank. Right now, it got already a decent buff to its penetration, which I think was necessary. Trust me, I'm coming to this back to another tank. It was necessary that this tank got a penetration buff. Also, otherwise, this tank is also something unique in its sense. It has a Patton turret on tier 8. Definitely not a bad call. Personally, I like the Patton turret on the 59 Patton. I really like the 59 Patton because it has incredible good soft stats. It feels all around like a decent premium tank. Something unique, but you can rely on it. As I said about this tank, it has 181 millimeters penetration, is even worse than at the moment the one of the M41 Grand Finals tank. DPM 1.8k, 1.9k is not bad. Roughly 2k DPM on tier 8 is really good. The turret armor, as I said, the 59 Patton turret can bounce. 59 Patton's turret, which is the same here, can bounce incredible amount of stuff. I don't know exactly why this tank didn't get as much penetration as the 59 Patton, but oh well, probably everyone can get it for free. Otherwise, still working on my own to get this tank. Think it is a really cool tank in general. Now let's go to the next tank. The next tank will be the M56 Scorpion. I'm surprised to see this tank here. It's a rare... You rarely see it in random battles because it was only most of the time there in overpriced bundles. I got it for myself. It has an incredible good gun in the matter of penetration and accuracy. Aim time, well, workable with. Can't deny that it's a bad aiming time, but it was also the first premium tank. Not reward tank, not true time, the first premium tank, but DPM is fairly low. 1.8k for a TD, yeah. 2 seconds aim time, as I already said in the Grand Finals, M41 Bulldog, really good at 1.9 seconds, really good. 0.33 accuracy, also really good. Astonishing 219 millimeters penetration with AP. This is really good. 275 with heat is even better, no struggles against tier 9 tanks. What could they buff for that tank? I don't think this tank will ever get special matchmaking. This tank doesn't need it. But a buff to the DPM, buff to the traverse speeds, especially the backward speed and probably the bloom. When you aim the gun, it goes off incredible much. Really annoying there. Also, the reverse speed is really slow. It's 10 kilometers per hour. Really not looking forward to that. 45 kilometers per hour forward also is a cap, which I really think is not what it should supposed to be. Because incredible good engine, 28 horsepower ratio. Yeah. Now we go back to one of the tanks which we already talked about. The 59 Patton. Who would have guessed that this tank was not on sale that more often? It was on sale during the Christmas sale where I brought it exactly after 9.13 where the Czechoslovakian OP DVP were released, and they actually buffed its penetration from 170 to 190. Incredible step. Still think this tank, you can rely so good on it. It has incredible gun stabilization. It has, in my opinion, not a bad DPM of 1.9k per minute. 0.38 accuracy sure could be better, 2.5 seconds aim time sure could be better, but still the turret can bounce incredible amounts of stuff. The hull is so bouncy with the Type 95 hull. Still the tank is obviously an fake, a wargaming fake, but I think it's a good fake instead of the waffle trigger. And yeah, don't forget, as I said, it has the M48 Patton gun and fire control system, which, as I said, makes it so good on snapshotting. That's why I love this tank. It's enjoyable to play. I don't know what they want to buff it. Probably give it more penetration, more DPM, who knows? Even more accuracy, who knows? Really looking forward to that buff, in my opinion. Really looking forward to. Now we go to a tank which I probably didn't even know that actually exists. The Soviet Tier 4 medium tank A32. Yes, you're actually thinking the same as I do. What is this tank? You rarely saw that in a random battle. I actually need to look it up what tank this actually is. This tank, I never saw it in random battles. I never actually saw that, I think. It's basically a cross between an A20 and the T34 on tier 4. Well, not the best DPM, but oh well. I'm normally not playing lower tiers, so I don't really know what exactly makes this tank good or bad. So yeah, everyone suits his horses. It has an incredible horsepower ratio, 27 for a medium tank. Not good armor, 35 millimeters. Well, there are tanks which are actually having fun penetrating this little fella. Right now, I'm just looking up. Yeah, it was a pre-order tank, which you could only get when you get the light pre-order package. It was once available in the gifts shop, but not anymore. It has special matchmaking, doesn't steer tier 6 people. I think this is actually good because the gun would struggle. 66 millimeters penetration, 75 with gold. They will probably do something on the penetration. I really think this will only be the good thing about it. It's very fast, it will get a better DPM and penetration. I think this will be the pros of this tank, because 110 damage on tier 4 on a medium tank is fairly good. Obviously, you can train your crews in it, but otherwise, I don't know anything about the tank. But last but not least, we are coming to of the list, the Kanonenjagdpanzer. And by gosh, Wargaming, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, thank you. Because this tank is, after the STA2, the worst tank in the game at tier 8 premium. Why exactly? It needed to get buff penetration, otherwise it would have 180 millimeters penetration. It's 112 now. Whoopty fucking do. It's fairly accurate, 0.32, okay, but it's nowhere near a tank like that the Jag 88, which is probably the counterpart of that tank. It's the counterpart, let's be honest, when we talk about premium. Sure, it could be an rework of the E25 on tier 8, but it was not. It is not, and it will never be. If they actually say with a rebalance, they're probably going to give it tier 7. Remove the 212mm penetration, give it the 180 of the Rus gun, because it is actually the Rus gun. And holy balls, you could actually get a cool tier 7 TD replacement for the E25, because don't forget that the Jag 88 has already a replacement. It is called Rheinmetall Scorpion. Rheinmetall Scorpion Waffenträger. I did a video, we'll link it in the description below. You can have a look at it. Really hyped about this tank. Unique, something new, looks awesome. Really looking forward to when the Gorilla 15 is getting removed or replaced. And back to the Kanonenjagdpanzer. Sure, it is incredible fast. The engine of the RoboterRaptor is showing its strengths here, but the DPM is so underwhelming. Does 9.5 shots sure sounds like much, 5.2 seconds, but the Jag 88 has special matchmaking, has armor, has more accuracy, has more shells, has a better DPM. It has over roughly 400, not over, excuse me, roughly 400 damage more DPM. 2,285 against 2,666. And trust me, this DPM is astonishing good. I have the same crews in both tanks, and I just see the Kanonenjagdpanzer on the RoboterRaptor 251 is underwhelming. Not much HP, it is not as stealthy as you might think, because obviously TDs lost their camouflage when you shoot after some certain patch. But nevertheless, it is, I'm really looking forward to. I preferably would give it a better DPM, different ammunition types probably, better camouflage, especially while shooting. On the other hand, remove the penetration, keep the DPM as it is, move it down to tier 7. Then this tank on both ways could be something unique and probably good to buy. But yeah, Wargaming said 10 tanks, we are at 8, so 2 more coming. Obviously I'm going to keep you up to date on the buffs, what is coming, something like this again, where just so either some pictures of them or some footage of them when I have them for myself. So yeah, I hope you liked it. If so, leave a like, obviously. If you didn't like it, say me why, make a dislike, and obviously if you're not subscribed, subscribe to my channel for more news from the Supertest, reviews and random stuff. And as always, thanks for watching.